What's up, everybody? So as you can see behind me, got to use the full tarps. Well, almost. I got to use the ones for the well, which are the important ones. Those are the 10-foot drops. Those are the ones that I wanted to try. But no, today's video, we're going to talk about basically how to run the spot market and to avoid probably the largest mistake that I've made so far. So yeah, I knew it was bound to happen, and it finally did. Finally screwed up and got myself stuck, got myself in a bad area, and it cost me. It cost me a couple of days, it cost me some deadhead mileage. Ultimately I kind of came out as well as I possibly could, but let me explain. So I wound up taking a load out of Salt Lake City and running up to the Northeast. Now, originally, I was going to be done with this load on, either Thursday morning, possibly even Wednesday. Well, unfortunately, that, it didn't work out that way. And I wound up finishing the load Friday morning. Well, I got stuck up there. I didn't want to run locally because I was looking for a load on Friday. So a one-day load really isn't going to do me much good. I needed to run, 2 or even 3 days. I was trying to run 3, but, that wasn't possible. So even 2 would have been nice, but I couldn't even find that. Now, there was one load that showed up earlier in the week. I think it showed up like Tuesday maybe. And that's where I kind of screwed up. Coming out of the Northeast, if you're going to leave the Northeast region, then you're just gonna have to take your medicine and you're gonna have to take, a poor paying load. If you have time to kind of run regionally, you can look for a better paying load. You could be a little bit more patient. Let's say that I were to arrive in the Northeast on Saturday night. So I got my reset in, I offloaded Monday morning. I could bounce around up there, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly even Thursday, and, really look for that good load to kind of get me out of there. But in this instance, I didn't have that opportunity. I kind of forced the hand, and I was looking for a load, Friday or, maybe even Saturday, maybe lose just one day. That wouldn't have been so bad, but that's really where I messed up, was leaving myself in a bad spot looking for a weekend load. The majority of the freight is going to move, during the week, Monday through Thursday, let's say. And the earlier, closer to Monday that you can find, obviously, the better to get out of a bad area. Like, for instance, before I mentioned Salt Lake City, at least for open platform, if you're wanting to head back east, Friday's not the day to do that. Monday or Tuesday would be much better, or even possibly Wednesday. So this got me to think, how do I need to operate when I'm taking these high-paying loads, but that are going to bad areas? What do I really need to be doing? Well, I need to be arriving, that needs to be my weekend load. And then you can look at the region, which, by the way, Truck Stop has a beautiful map that you can see what loads pertaining to what trailer that you're hauling. Now, unfortunately for open deck, all they have is flatbed, so everything's gonna kind of fall into that. But I can pull some flatbed loads, so that's not that big of a deal. But I can see what regions are gonna be hot if I want to run regionally, or if I want to run a load into a poor market, then I can still bounce around, make good money, and then run through the weekend and go wherever I want to go. Thinking about it that way, or, keeping yourself out of a poor market on the weekends is definitely, it's gonna behoove you. You don't want to run into a poor market looking for a weekend load, because they're not gonna be there. Those trucks that entered that poor market on Monday, they kind of bounced around. They took the good paying freight Monday through Wednesday or even Thursday. And all those Friday loads, they're all gonna be taken, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to set up my weekend loads and run into those, using the regional map, run into those better areas. And then if I need to stay, I need to stay, but try to find a load out of there, no matter what day it is. And if I have to take my medicine, I have to take my medicine. All you guys that say your truck doesn't move for $2 a mile, well, good for you. But that's not the case for about 95% of us out here. If you take a super hot load that goes into a bad market, you're just gonna have to take your medicine. Had I taken my medicine, I would have been in great shape, would have been running the weekend, wouldn't be making this video. So I guess you guys benefit, maybe, I don't know. But it wound up working is about as good as it could have for me. So I sat around on Friday looking for a load, didn't find anything. I was looking literally from Maine to Western Pennsylvania, and I could find nothing. Nothing that was paying over about $1.30 a mile. And that's just not happening. So I looked on Saturday. I decided that Saturday, if I hadn't found anything by about 10 a.m., that I was gonna bounce over to Western Pennsylvania or even Ohio. Helicopter. So as I was en route, found a load out of New York going to Ohio. Wasn't the greatest paying load in the world, but it was certainly better than anything coming out of the Northeast. And I thought, you know what, hey, it's a one-day load, that's fine. I'm gonna make a little bit of money, and we'll go about our business. So, this week actually wound up being salvageable. This load that you can see right behind me, obviously I'm using my 10-foot drops. Well, I saw this load pop up on the board. I immediately called on it, and she said, well, it's already booked, but you know what, let me get your phone number and I'll give you a call if something happens. Well, normally that's code for, you're not getting the load. About 5 minutes goes by and broker calls me back and says, hey, the guy there doesn't have enough tarp to cover this thing. What do you have? And thanks to Lookout Mountain Tarp, I have plenty of tarp. I can cover anything as long as it's not over-dimensional and 10 feet tall. So my tarps actually saved this load for me. They got me this load, and this load is paying like $2.30 a mile, over 2,000 miles. I mean, pretty sweet load. So that's what we've got on now. I'm headed to LA, and I'm in Utah right now. But just wanted to share that with you. Wanted to share some advice as far as not putting yourself in a bad market through the weekend, or actually arriving on the weekend. I think that's so far what I've seen. As I've done this to myself. This is the third time. You'd think that I would learn after the first time, maybe the second time, but no. This is the third time that I've done this to myself. So not gonna be doing that anymore unless I'm willing to sit the weekend knowing going into it. That being said, think about where you're going. Look at the regional freight. If you're using truckstop.com, look at that regional board and see what you can do once you get there. See if the freight is hot in that area. Maybe you want to stay in that area. Maybe you don't want to leave. Hey, nothing wrong with that. But right now, I just feel like the rates aren't quite there to run that regional stuff. It wouldn't be bad, obviously, but it seems to me that the pay is going to wind up being roughly the same as if you're running long haul, and long haul is a lot less work. You can drive slower, yada, yada, yada. So that's what I'm doing right now, trying to stay long haul, but just need to be a little bit smarter about it. This was a huge mistake on my part, but gonna try to learn from it. Hopefully you guys can learn from that, and you don't repeat the mistakes that I made. So if you could leave a comment down below, let me know, what's your tip as far as not messing yourself over. Trying to keep it PG. Not messing yourself over in any of these markets. I mean, obviously, I know I'm gonna get some colorful comments, but hey, that's cool. I've only been out here 7 years, and I plan to learn for the next 40. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, as we're gonna get back on a schedule. Today should be Monday if you're watching this the first release day, and I have decided that I'm gonna start putting out videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're gonna get on a solid schedule. We're gonna give something consistent so that way you guys can watch and hopefully enjoy. But gonna give some consistency to the channel. We might do more videos, but as far as if you didn't see, YouTube gave me YouTube stories. So I'm gonna start utilizing that and at least do a short clip every day, even if it's just with the phone, you know, nothing fancy, but to kind of keep you guys in the loop as far as what's going on. Well, what happened was my last video ran pretty hot, at least for my channel. It got considerably, a lot of views compared to what my other videos typically do. And when you do that, you don't want to mess with the algorithm too much. You kind of want to let it do its thing. It's still doing its thing. It's still gaining about 2,000 views a day. And I'm going to stop boring you guys real soon, I promise. But, you know, since it was doing that, you know, I wanted to give it time, give it room, time to go. Wanted to give it room to stretch its legs. So I see it's not slowing down, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get this video out to you guys. But we're gonna get on a schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and excited about that. There may be more videos. I might decide to do extra stuff, but nonetheless, I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and till next time, stay driven.